Hey everybody, it's Ron Bass with another edition of Soar High Personal Development, your source for inspiration. Sorry about the cold, it's the way it is. Show must go on. So today joining me is Mr. Davin Huntley, of course, our producer at Soar High Personal Development and Soar High Records.
Yes, correct.
We had a big show last night.
We did.
In Springfield, Missouri.
Good little turnout.
Big turnout.
Yep.
Successful. Kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And two of his artists are joining us tonight as well. Dorian Williams, who is Davin's assistant, and this gentleman over here also. You play the piccolo.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. An actual musician, not just a rapper and a hip hop, but a real musician.
We're not real musicians.
I'm kidding. I grew up around people that, a lot of people played a lot of instruments. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Piccolo's pretty easy.
You'll have to play maybe the piccolo on the show, one of the shows somehow.
Did you know I played the saxophone?
That'd be cool.
And
You play the
clarinet?
saxophone?
And the clarinet.
For real? Golly, two musicians. What? Oh my God, now we got a trumpet player too. Well, we got a real band going here now.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be fun.
Forget hip hop.
If we wanted
Forget
to,
hip-hop.
we can hop on the stage.
Yeah, forget
I
hip
like
hop.
That is super cool. I didn't know that. I love it. Anyway, appreciate you joining us tonight. And now over on this side of the fence is Mr. Zayn.
Zayden.
My bad.
Zay was
Says
on.
what I know.
Zay's on our
Zayden.
episode as well. Yep, Zayden.
Artist with Soar High Records. He's saying that one of his goals for himself is his music career would probably be to escape his. To what did you say?
Sorry, Brett.
What did you say about your goal?
Mr. Ron, I said, what can I say?
Yeah. Can you see your notes? That's funny.
Okay, yeah, what I was trying to say. My goal for myself and my music career is to make an escape for my fans and the world.
I got you. I see where you're coming from.
With my music.
So a place where people can go and really enjoy themselves and get away from all the the craziness going on around them and enjoy themselves and get away a little bit.
Turn the music into drugs.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Music is the medicine.
Yeah.
I love it.
drugs are medicine in a way.
Okay. Well, at any rate, tonight we're going to talk about an interesting subject.
Sound like that.
To me, I think it's an interesting subject. And that is, why do we lie?
That is a super interesting subject,
And
honestly.
people are going to say, well, I don't lie. Really? Come on, man.
That's a
Everybody-
lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Everybody lies. The question is, why do we lie? So I have some ideas, and I'm going to go through a list, and we can kind of come back and talk about each one of these bullet points. I think a lot of the reasons that we lie is because we just can't face the truth. It hurts too much.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think another reason why people lie a lot is because our ego protects ourselves, and the ego is kind of like a separate thing.
Sometimes
In
a
the-
liar can't handle the truth.
Sometimes a liar can't handle the truth, right?
Yeah.
So the ego is a big deal. The ego will do all kinds of crazy things to keep you from feeling bad about yourself.
We know some egomaniacs.
We do know some things. I think another reason why people lie is because of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Think about that.
They did something and they want to cover their ass on it, Like, oh no, I didn't actually, that's not how it went down, Like, so I hear that daily.
Yes. I think that another reason why people lie is because they're always trying to impress.
Yeah. That's actually like a really big thing. I feel like with like younger people as well. Like
Yeah.
trying to make an impression on their friends and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Or even on like older people, people come in.
Always trying to impress somebody
Yeah.
because they don't have enough going for themselves, so they have to lie about who they are, what they're doing to make an impression on somebody.
Feel better about
Feel
themselves.
better about themselves,
Make
right?
themselves, like feel more interesting.
Yeah, and if you lie about somebody else, what they're doing, it makes you feel better about yourself because you're not accomplishing a whole lot. I heard somebody say, "Well, the only reason you can be successable is because you're dishonest." So you're a dishonest person. I'm an honest person. I don't have as much as you, but I'm honest. You're a liar. You're deceitful. You're dishonest.
Interesting.
They're back to the ego protecting yourself. Kind of an interesting point, I think. Bad habits. I think that people just have a bad habit. I think once you start lying a lot, I think you get into this habit of you just keep lying and lying and lying.
Sometimes the lie turns into you start to believe the lie.
Yeah.
Then there's such a thing as a pathological liar. I think that's more of a biological, physiological brain problem that people just can't quit lying. I mean, they lie about everything.
Right.
I bet if you think about it, you probably remember somebody in your life that you know that's like that. The old saying is, the only time they're not lying is when they don't open their mouth.
I mean, yeah, it's probably like
It's crazy,
the same thing with like kleptomania.
Yeah.
There you go. Isn't that like somebody that steals all the time?
Yeah, like they can't stop stealing.
Can't stop stealing. How about people that can't stop shopping?
Like a shopaholic. Yeah.
I have a friend, I actually have an employee whose wife, who's passed away now, but she couldn't help herself. She would spend everything he made. They were married 50 years.
Whoa.
Well, think about that.
Man.
50 years.
Yeah, one time he said he won $20,000 gambling. He took it home and she had it spent within a couple days.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Whoa.
I told him today. I said you'd be a wealthy guy
Yeah.
had it not been for your wife. And I have to be careful what I say because he could have said screw you. But I'm just a realist. I look at things as they are. I don't try to pull any punches. I don't try to color it. It's like it is what it is. I had a psychologist tell me one time, Ron, you need to see more gray. You're too black and white. I'll never forget that. I was like your age. And I thought, I don't know about that. And, we're talking about women. And he said, you look at women too much as an object rather than as a person. Like you look at it like a sex object. Because growing up, my parents, who I love, they argued every day. It was a bad deal. Like they never got along. And I hated it as a kid growing up because it was constant arguments. And it drove me crazy. And I think I kind of grew up with this bad attitude about women as far as like being like being that person. And I loved my mother, but it's like I kind of grew up with this idea that, relationships really are kind of screwed to start with.
Right.
And it's probably not, maybe it's not fair, but I kind of became that person.
And that's your feeling on it,
Yeah. And I get it. If you got a good relationship, that's fine. But unfortunately, what is it, like 60% divorce rate? And then like at least 40. And of the 40%, how many of them are happy?
Exactly, a small percentage.
Yeah, I was about to say like 20.
So to me, it's like, I know we've had this in other we talked about this other podcast. It's like you enter this experience already so far behind the curve.
Right.
Now, you got to, what's the point of marriage with children? You got to have children. The whole idea, is procreation. It's for the species to continue to grow. Yeah. But that's a nature thing. If you really boil it down, relationships can be, very difficult and cause a lot of problems. I don't want to get into that so much.
Yeah,
tonight.
I was going to say
last week. Okay. So back to why do we lie? What's another saying was if you don't lie, you never have to remember what you said. Because when you lie a lot, you have to always backtrack. Yeah. What did you say?
Stories change.
Stories change. Nothing stays right. So that's a real good saying.
That's the worst kind of liar. I've dealt with people that, like, my whole life that are like that. They'll tell me a story and then go behind my back and tell someone else the same story with different settings, different circumstances. And it's like,
yes.
Let me...
get your story straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what do we do to try to treat lying as a bad habit? How about we face the fiddle? By the way, you know where that term comes from?
No.
That's in World War II when the Jews were being killed and slaughtered, by Hitler. They would go into these rooms and they would play the violin to kind of keep people calm before they went and executed them. Wow. So that term. Face the fiddle is like face the music. Face the music. Same thing. Yeah. Face your problem head on. So if you got a problem with lying, first you have to recognize it, and then you have to figure out how to stop it because it's not healthy. So face the fiddle. Hit everything head on. I think you have to just every day of my life. I think about what are my challenges today. How am I going to handle it? I write everything down on a piece of paper. It sounds kind of old school, but it works for me. And then I just checklist off as the day progresses. And so I solved that problem. I solved this problem. I solved this problem. Or at the end of the day, I still have 4 or 5 things that I haven't solved. Okay, then I keep it on my list for the next morning. I come back into my office, and it's like, okay, let's tackle these problems.
Yep.
You have to hit everything head on. You can't shy away from struggle.
And lying could be a way to kind of shy away, you know?
You know, like,
Yes.
protect yourself.
Yeah.
And how about white lies versus big lies? People say, "Oh, that's just a white lie." What does that mean? Isn't lying?
I would agree to an extent, but I am definitely a big believer of if it protects, say, a business, you know, say your business or your loved ones are in jeopardy. Like, say the police came over and they're looking for somebody or something.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think
No, it's not that you necessarily lie. It's like, I haven't seen them. It's not the truth. It's not a lie.
I don't agree with that. I think you got to face the fiddle.
I can agree with you. I agree. I see both sides. I'm your gray area.
Yeah,
I'm the gray area that you've been looking
What were
for.
you going to say?
What did you say just now?
Like, say the police came to your door and they're looking for somebody, and you're just like, well, I don't know where they're at, whether you do or no.
Oh yeah.
He's trying to protect you as a friend.
Yeah.
But you know, sooner or later, the cops are going to find you anyway.
Yeah.
Might as well face the
This is
fiddle,
correct.
face the music, get it over with, get it behind you, move on. Whatever you've done to cause it. It's my opinion.
I agree.
Even like today, I had a customer call me upset, and my technician didn't show up to do the work. And I said, "Look, he's a great guy, but the guy's probably got some personal problems, and every once in a while he just disappears." I could have lied, but I'm not that guy.
Right.
I'd rather tell the customer the truth than I never have to remember what I said.
Right, and you also
It's embarrassing. I get it, but you know what? Hit it head on, man.
yeah, exactly.
Now, what do I do with this guy? Do I keep him? Do I fire him? Do I counsel him? We'll have to see tomorrow. He's got to come. He's got to show up because he's got bills to pay. I know he does. He has to work. But my gut feeling is that he's either got a problem with his girlfriend or he's got a drinking problem.
Whoa.
Sorry, you know, I'm just the messenger here. Okay, so we'll keep going here. And you know, the key is you just need to stay. Well, we were talking earlier. You got to stay honest. You can't beat around the bush. That's another old saying. You just got to be honest with yourself. And if something comes along your way that you don't like, you know what? Just deal with it
Yep.
and hit it head on. And be honest with yourself and be honest with other people around you. Don't make a bunch of stuff up. That's my opinion. What do you guys have to say?
I've had a history with lying. I ain't gonna lie to you. So like growing up, I used to lie a lot, low key. Everything that I did that was wrong, I would basically lie about it until I was like 15. I came from my friend's house and I was getting picked up from my grandparents, and my grandparents said that I smelled like marijuana, blah, blah, blah. I didn't tell them I smoked. I kept lying. And
Right.
I finally was just like, yes. And
All right, you got me.
Yeah. I
All
was like,
right,
yes.
you got me.
And they were like, okay, that's all you had to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I was like,
What?
You mean I could
where's the belt?
Yeah.
Where's the belt? I'm thinking I'm gonna get,
Where's the
I'm gonna
belt?
get whooped.
Yeah.
But she was like, they're basically like, you make your own decisions. If it affects you in the long run, that's your problem.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
Correct.
that reminds me of something like sometimes I have people get mad at me and they start off, you know, with this real negative comments. And I've learned just to let them talk.
Mm-hmm.
I keep my mouth shut.
Yep.
And they go on and they go on. And they go on, and they go on, and they go on.
It just makes
And then
themselves-
guess what?
it just makes
After a
themselves
while,
worse.
after a while, after a while, after a while, after a while,
Yep.
after a while, after a while, it slows down. And if you keep your mouth shut, sooner or later, guess what? They run out of something to say. And then they'll say something like, well, what do you have to say?
Oh, nothing. I love doing that.
You know what I have to say?
I love
You're
doing
right. I apologize.
Okay.
I'm going to see to this. I'm going to figure out an answer for you.
I love to say, maybe.
So it's like the old saying, let the balloon, let all the air out, let the air out of the balloon. Eventually it's going to just, there won't be any air left.
Exactly.
And that's the way you handle people that are real critical. That's my opinion.
I agree. I would agree with you.
The nice thing about doing these podcasts is we can talk about one subject, but it leads to other subjects.
Right.
I'm
And
curious.
that's kind of fun.
I'm curious about Dorian. What have you encountered? Like, I know you've encountered liars just in your life.
Yes, yes.
Have you encountered one that like really made you think about like, why'd that person lie to me?
Oh, like somebody like lying over small stuff. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, okay, so like I can't like name any specific
No, you don't have to.
circumstance,
Don't
but
have to.
like just in general, like, people will just lie over the smallest things just because like, oh, what I was afraid of what you might think of me and it's just like, whoa, dude, chill. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. That's a good point.
You could just say what's on your mind, or say like, oh, just
Yeah,
just tell the
getting
truth.
caught
Be straight
lying
up.
feels worse than
Yeah.
If you're honest and you get it out on the table, it's a lot better than lying and
Yeah.
keep lying, keep lying, keep lying.
Yeah.
Just get it out on the table, man,
That's-
and get it out there and deal with it.
that's something.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah. So like,
What's the worst thing that's going to happen to you?
Like, okay, so I'm gonna run off what you said and what you said. So, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? So, say I'm the liar in this situation. I come in, and my friend's sitting across the table from me, and I lie to them because I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I don't want them to not be my friend.
Right.
And you can't do that. Like,
You can't do that.
You're gonna not be my friend because you're a liar. It has nothing to do with hurting my feelings or anything like that. Don't lie to me.
You and I just went through a difficult situation, but we
Yeah.
hit it head on.
Yeah.
We didn't lie about anything.
No.
We said exactly how we felt, and now it's behind us. And tell me that was a good decision or not a good decision.
It's a great
It was a
decision.
great decision.
Yeah.
So, but it might have been a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But we did what we had to do.
Exactly.
Got it on the table and got it behind us. Moved on. Right or wrong?
Exactly.
A lot better than lying
Exactly.
and making up stories about why we did what we did. Right or wrong?
I agree with you. I
So-
agree with you.
I say that to say this. You got something that's bothering you, somebody's bugging you, somebody's saying things you don't like, somebody's done something to you that's wrong, hit it head on, man. Don't
honest
don't
with them.
procrastinate. Don't put it off. Deal with it now. Get it on the table. Resolve it.
These two might understand kind of the next thing that I say. Say you're, this goes for, just in my life. Say when I was younger, say you're talking to a significant other, someone that you're wanting to date at some point,
Yeah.
and they're doing things that you don't really care for, or they're ignoring you, or they're overly making you angry, or not talking to you
Right.
purposefully, and
Hurting your feelings somehow.
yeah.
yeah.
If you're honest with them, they're more likely to respect you
Yes.
for that, instead of
Yes.
just being just taking the punches. You need to be honest with
Yeah.
not only yourself but
Right.
other people.
And look how you've matured yourself since I've known you in that regard. You've
Well, thank
come
you.
so far. You're all business, but you're fair at the same time.
Mhm.
And that's
And you
the only
have
way
to
you can handle business.
Yeah, you have to be.
You can't be wishy-washy.
No. Everyone is treated with the same respect. Somebody asks me a question, I say no. Next person asks me the same exact question, I tell them no. There is no favorites for me, because there were always favorites when I
I
was
always tell
growing up.
people about my business, like I'm the dictator, and you guys, this is not a democracy. You're a dictator. It's not a democracy.
No.
You'll listen to everybody,
Yeah.
and you'll be fair, but in the end, it's your decision.
Point blank.
That's the way it has to be.
Everybody really knows that if they're around me, and I try to instill that into them as well. Like, if somebody's messing with you, just either walk away, tell them no.
So a quick commercial break
Go
here.
away.
Soar High Records is our music label. You can go to our website, Soar High Records. It's soarhighentertainment.com.
Yep.
Or you can go to our YouTube channel or Facebook page and learn more about our company. But basically, we are a hip hop, rap record label, and we are doing a lot of recording. Davin's got over 12 artists right now he's recording, and we're doing live shows, and you get the idea. Also, America's Same-Day Service is our home repairs company. We've been around a long time. We're in 10 or 12 different cities right now, trying to be across the United States. So samedayservice.com is our website. You can go there and check us out further.
I'll add to
And,
the
go ahead,
sponsorship real quick. Zay has a brand new project out called Rugrat. It's on all streaming platforms. His artist name is Z4Y.
Z4Y.
Yes, correct.
Z like the number 4 or FOR?
Yeah, no, Z and then the number 4, numerical 4, Y.
Y.
And it's Rugrat.
Rugrat.
Also on all streaming
All the
platforms.
streaming platforms.
Amazon, Spotify, Apple Music,
Apple.
anywhere you can find it, Pandora.
Pandora.
So go stream that.
Cool.
And the SoarHighEntertainment.com will have things uploaded very soon.
Good.
It will look very nice and
Good.
pretty.
Good.
I have 10 artists, so there's a lot that goes on.
Yes.
But we're pushing it every
I
day.
love it. I love it.
Every day. Why would I lie? All right.
Why would you
Let's
lie?
keep going. That's also we're at 20.
We're at 20
We're
minutes.
20.
Well,
We're
we're
20.
about ready to wrap things up then. One thing I have learned, Davin, people have a very low attention span.
They do.
The other thing I've learned is that people are all in an effing hurry. Every time I get out on the roads.
Is this about to turn to rounds rants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time I get on the road, I'm going through a neighborhood, like with school. There's a school. And people are effing honking their horn, and I'm doing 30 in a neighborhood with school children. Honk, honk, honk. It's like, screw you, buddy. What are you guys are out of your mind. I'm not going to rev this thing up in this neighborhood.
No.
What is wrong with you? I'm thinking, calm the F down. Golly, man. But you know what? It's getting worse. People are in a big hurry, going nowhere.
Yeah, for nothing.
Relax.
They're in a hurry to go home and sit down.
Yeah.
Like,
Calm the
what are
F
you in a hurry
down.
for? What are you in such a hurry for?
Wow.
But that's how I am with all these artists. They're in a hurry for, oh, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? I get it.
I get it.
But at the same time, it's like, slow down. I'm only one person. You're only one person.
Any final thoughts, sir?
About lying.
About
All
lying.
about lying.
Yeah.
Stay honest. The truth feels better than getting caught in the act.
I agree.
Well said.
And sometimes the truth does hurt. I would agree.
It does.
I would say that. But, you know, like
After
you said.
it's all out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Everything's all good to you.
Sir?
And like, yeah, going off what he said, basically. Like, I mean, lying may help you in the short term, whatever,
Yeah, short term.
but like, it's gonna catch up to you.
Yeah, always.
The
Always.
truth always comes out
Always.
one way or another.
One way or the other.
The worst is when a liar will lie and then it's like a year or years later, months down the road, weeks down the road, and they get caught up in their lie.
Yeah,
Well, you hear it from somebody else. And
Lying
then,
is like
Now we're on a tangent. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I want to hear it.
lying is like making a time bomb and not knowing when it's gonna explode.
Wow, that is a
Wow.
that is a good analogy. That is a really good analogy. That is a
Guys are
great
awesome. Those are
analogy.
real, man.
Because sometimes it could blow up in your face right then in the conversation,
Or-
Yes.
or it could be a week later, a month later, a year later.
Good point.
That's crazy.
If you never lie, you just don't have to worry about anything, man. Just be
Yeah.
honest.
That's what I was gonna say. That was my final thought.
That's okay.
Don't lie. Be honest. I am known as, you know, the asshole that's very dry and very direct with people that aren't really in our circle. I'm very like, oh no, I'm sorry. You know, like I'm like that. I'm very, very dry. I'm very to the point. I don't pull
I am as
punches.
well.
And people have this negative connotation of me, and that's
Sorry.
fine. That is okay. I just want the audience out there to know that if you're honest with yourself and you respect yourself, you should never have to lie.
I love
Ever.
it. That's a beautiful thought.
Thank you.
Well, guys, thanks again for joining us for another edition of
Thank you
So
for
Hard
having
Personal
us.
Development. Appreciate you guys being here with me today.
No,
And
thank
just
you.
remember, if you don't give up, the stars will always line up. So until next time, stay positive.